What if Rimuru we are pirates One Piece X Tensura? By KyleBayan. Wealth, fame, power. Gol D Roger, the king of the pirates, obtained this, and everything else the world had to offer, and his dying words drove countless souls to the sea, marking the beginning of the great pirate era. Join Monkey D. Luffy, a boy who ate the gum fruit, and his twin sister Monkey D. Rimuru, a girl, who ate the slime fruit on their adventure across the sea to search for the One Piece. Chapter 6. Resting and Explanations. After helping Crocus save Laboon from the mysterious duo, Crocus began to tell them Laboon's story. Crocus explained to the crew how, 50 years ago, Laboon stubbornly followed a crew of well-mannered pirates who wanted to leave him in the West Blue, knowing the dangers of the Grand Line. Crocus then explained that when the crew left, they asked Crocus to look after Laboon and promised the whale that they would return in 3 years, but they never returned. Sanji, 50 years. Use up, so Laboon has been waiting all this time for his friends to return. Nami, so that explains why he has those scars. Rimuru, he must be very lonely. Crocus, indeed he is. Even to this day, Laboon firmly believes his friends will return. Later, Crocus offered to guide the crew out of Laboon's stomach through a massive hallway. Zoro, this is some canal. I'm amazed that this whale is still alive with a hole like this in his body. Sanji, I suppose this is your work. Crocus, just a doctor's playful mind. Use up, doctor. Crocus, that's right, legally certified. I did run a clinic on the Cape, and I also had some experience as a ship's doctor. Luffy, really, that's great. Why don't you join our crew? Crocus, don't be ridiculous. I no longer have that kind of energy anymore. Rimuru, so I take it that you did this for a good reason. Crocus, that's right. A creature of this size makes it practically impossible to treat it from the outside, so I made a more drastic solution. After the crew made it out of Laboon, they untied the 2 strangers and threw them overboard. Rimuru, hey old man, are you sure it's cool for us to let them go? Crocus, it's fine. A different group would take their place anyway. The crew then docked at the shore to make repairs on the Mary. Usopp, don't you guys think 50 years is a bit extreme? Luffy, yeah, those guys sure like to take their time. Sanji, you idiot, this is the Grand Line. His friends are already dead. Nami, as sad as it is, it's probably true. Around their time, the Grand Line was an uncharted sea, so it's much more dangerous than it is right now. Usopp, why are you guys being super pessimistic? You don't know that they're dead. They could still come back for him. Come on, have some sympathy. I thought it was very touching. I mean, a whale still believing in a promise they made after all these years. That's a true bond. Rimuru, I understand how you feel, Usopp, but the Grand Line is extremely dangerous. The only way for them to probably come back and keep their promise is if they have the power to survive getting killed. Crocus, I agree, but sometimes reality can be cruel. Laboon's friends aren't dead. I heard from a reliable source that they've already left the Grand Line. Rimuru, what? Usopp, I don't believe it. I mean, why abandon him like that? Rimuru, I agree. If it were me, I would rather die trying to keep my promise than to abandon my friends. Nami, Rimuru, calm down. Crocus, you said they left the Grand Line. Does that mean they entered the Calm Belt? Did they make it out all right? Crocus, I can't claim exactly what happened to them. My source only told me they left the Grand Line, but I doubt that they'll ever come back here again. On the Grand Line, things like the seasons, weather, currents, and wind directions, these things defy the laws of nature. Common sense is useless here, and the sheer terror of that fact can be quite terrifying. Sanji, so what you're saying is that these pirates are a bunch of cowards who would break promises if it'll save their asses. Usopp, why would anyone abandon such a loyal creature? Rimuru was about to say something when she noticed Luffy hadn't said anything. She looked at him and saw him staring at Laboon. Rimuru, Luffy, what's up? Luffy, Laboon is miserable. I think he knows that his friends aren't coming back. Rimuru, what should we do? Rimuru made a thoughtful expression and began thinking. Rimuru, From what I understand, he didn't want to believe his friends had either died or abandoned him, so he's probably in denial and clinging on to a promise that'll never be kept. Luffy, so all we have to do is give him hope, right? Rimuru, I guess. Wait, what are you plotting? Rimuru glanced back at Luffy, only to find that he was gone. Luffy, R-A-H-H-H-H-H-H. Everyone glanced in Luffy's direction and saw him climbing up Laboon while carrying something. Sanji, what the hell is that idiot up to? Zoro, do we have to watch him every second? Rimuru, grinning, pretty much, but whatever it is he's up to, at least it won't be boring. Nami, your brother can be such a pain, Rimuru. Luffy, AAHH, gum flower arrangement. Luffy leaped into the air and stabbed Laboon with the mast of the ship. Rimuru, hey, is that our mast? Nami, it certainly is. Sanji, and now it's on top of the whale. Usopp, why did he do that? Zoro, do you guys think he knows it's our mast? Nami, I've got no clue. Confused why Luffy ran up a whale with their mast, they hadn't yet processed that Luffy had broken their ship. After a moment, Laboon wailed in pain and tried to shake off Luffy. Laboon, B-U-O-H-H-H-H-H. Luffy, A-G-H-H-H-H-H. Rimuru/Zoro/Nami/Sanji, you dumbass. Crocus, Usopp, he broke our ship. Laboon then leaped into the air and headed toward the shore. Nami, it's coming this way. Usopp, it's gonna crash. Rimuru quickly sprouted wings, attached threads to the others, and flew to safety with everyone in tow. Laboon crashed into the shore. Crocus, The boy, he's dead. Nami, don't worry. It'll take a lot more than that to kill someone made of rubber. A vein could be seen on Rimuru's forehead. Rimuru, when this is over, I am so gonna kill him. Laboon roared in pain as the mast was embedded deeper into his melon. Luffy, gotcha. Laboon recovered from the pain and tried to crush Luffy. Luffy jumped out of the way but was smacked down by Laboon's tail. Luffy quickly retaliated by punching Laboon's eye, but Laboon headbutted him and sent him flying toward the lighthouse. Usopp, what does he think he's doing? Luffy kicked Laboon but was sent back from Laboon's headbutt. During the fight, Rimuru figured out what Luffy was planning and put the others down. Rimuru quickly got between the two before Laboon could continue. Rimuru, enough, this fight is a draw. Luffy stood back up and put his hat back on. Luffy, I'm stronger than I look, eh? Rimuru, your fight with my brother hasn't been settled yet, so you will have to fight each other later. Luffy, tell you what, after we travel the Grand Line, we'll come back so we can settle the score, so you'd better be ready for a rematch. Laboon, B-O-H-H-H-H-H. Laboon howls loudly, happy that he has something to look forward to. Later, after patching up Laboon, Usopp tries to fix the mast. Sanji is preparing lunch, and Luffy starts painting the crew's Jolly Roger on Laboon. Luffy, not too bad. Consider this the symbol of my promise to continue our fight, but since it's paint, you'll have to avoid hitting your head so that it won't be scratched off. Understand? Laboon, B-O-H-H-H. Taking advantage of the peace and quiet, Nami began planning the crew's next course when she noticed something was wrong. Nami, A-H-H. Rimuru, Nami, what's wrong? Sanji, is there something wrong, my dearest Nami Tilda? If it's food you're worried about, I've made something special for you, Tilda. And Usopp, did someone say food? Nami, no, you idiots. The compass is broken. The needle just keeps spinning and it won't stop. Upon mentioning the compass, Rimuru remembered something. Rimuru, oh crap, I knew I had forgotten something. Usopp, what did you forget? Rimuru, I forgot to steal a log pose back at Logtown. Nami, a log pose. Crocus, there is nothing wrong with your compass. The Grand Line has no regard for common sense. Nami, then why does the needle keep spinning? Rimuru, well, islands in the Grand Line generate magnetic fields that cause all sorts of stuff to happen. Nami, so if we don't have a way to tell directions, then this trip is hopeless. I don't know what to say. We're screwed. Usopp, hey, you're the navigator, so navigate us out of here. Luffy, hey Rimuru, can you remove these webs? I'm hungry. And that elephant tuna looks tasty. Nami, would you two keep it down? Crocus, well, if you have any hope of navigating through the Grand Line, you would need a log pose. Nami, well, I've never heard of it until just now. Rimuru, it's like a special compass that works in the Grand Line. Usopp, how do you know that? Rimuru, Grandpa is someone very important to the Marines, so I asked him if I could use the libraries in the many Marine bases in the East Blue to gather information, and he let me. Nami, if your grandpa is in the Marines, I doubt he'd actually let you if he knew you'd be a pirate. Rimuru, that's exactly why I didn't tell him I'm gonna be a pirate. Plus, he can't say no to his adorable granddaughter. Sanji, adorable Tilda is absolutely right. Nami, so how does a log pose work? Crocus began explaining how the log pose works, and that each island would eventually lead to the last island, Laugh Tale. Usopp, then does that mean that the One Piece is on Laugh Tale? Crocus, who knows? No one has ever reached the island to confirm its existence, and without a log pose, none of you would be able to reach the next island anyway. Luffy poked his hand out of the threads while holding a strange contraption. Luffy, does one of those log thingies look like this? Rimuru, A. Crocus, actually yes. Only fools travel the Grand Line without one. Nami, I see. Can you excuse me for 1 second? Nami approached Luffy, then suddenly punched him. Nami, so, why didn't you tell me you had one of those log things? Luffy, I found it on deck just lying there. Rimuru, if that's the case, then it must have belonged to those weirdos. Luffy, Nami, why'd you hit me? Nami, I felt like it. Rimuru tapped Nami's shoulder. Nami, what is it? Rimuru, well, when you punched Luffy, you kind of made him drop the log pose and... Rimuru pointed at the log pose. Rimuru's, it broke. Nami, no. Nami slumped down in despair. Usopp, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the log pose only work if it's not broken? Nami, it's over, we're as good as dead. Sanji, let me comfort Tilda you in my arms, Nami Tilda. Crocus, calm down. I shall give you my old one as a thank you for helping Laboon. As the group sighed in relief, a large explosion occurred in the sea, grabbing everyone's attention. Everyone but Luffy went to check it out as the mysterious duo climbed to shore. Sanji approached Miss Wednesday and reached out his hand. Sanji, hello, dear lady. Allow me to help you to your feet. Miss Wednesday held Sanji's hand as he helped her up. Miss Wednesday, oh, thank you. Sanji began guiding her to the lighthouse for lunch. Mr. Nine woke up and saw the group. Mr. Nine, hey, we need a favor. The two then prostrated themselves to beg the group to help them return home. Rimuru, Whiskey Peak. Luffy, that's a funny name. Usopp, so what is it? Mr. Nine, that's where we live, us, sir. Nami, how are you stranded? Where's your ship? Miss Wednesday, well, it was destroyed. Nami smirked and approached the two. Nami, asking us for a ride is pushing it, Mr. Nine. Rimuru, Why would we do that, especially when you tried to kill Laboon? Usopp, what's with the wardrobe? What are you supposed to be? Mr. Nine, I'm a king. A vein could be seen on Nami as she pinched Mr. Nine's face. Nami, liar. Mr. Nine, ow. Miss Wednesday, I'm sorry but we can't say. Mr. Nine, she's right. Our only motivation is to go home. We'd tell you everything we can. It's just. Miss Wednesday, mystery is our company's motto, so we couldn't tell you any more. Please show us mercy. Mr. Nine, we promise we'll return the favor. Crocus, don't do it. These two fools are dishonest to the core and cannot be trusted. Rimuru made a thoughtful expression before getting an idea. She whispered something to Nami, which made her think for a moment before whispering something back. Rimuru gave Nami a nod. Nami, listen, I should tell you that our log pose is broken and we don't have another one, so do you still want to ride with us? Nami then showed them the broken log pose, which infuriated the two. Mr. Nine, you broke it. Isn't that log pose mine? Those things aren't cheap, you know. Miss Wednesday, you're stuck here too. How long were you going to make us beg before telling us? Rimuru, hey Crocus, are you still going to lend us yours? Crocus, of course. The two quickly prostrated themselves once more. Mr. Nine, please have pity on us. Those bitches are toying with us. Rimuru, Luffy, it's fine, you can ride with us. You said your home is called Whiskey Peak. Let's go. Usopp, why? These two are obviously pretty shady people. Why would we take them anywhere? Besides, Rimuru is the captain too, so we can't do anything unless she agrees with you. Rimuru, I'm cool with giving them a ride. Nami, Rimuru, we will have to pick a route anyway, right? So why not? Usopp, but. Luffy, besides, if we don't like it, we could always change course. Crocus, I see. Rimuru, well, now that that's settled, let's eat. Luffy, so can you let me out of these webs? Rimuru, no. Consider it punishment for wrecking our ship and making Usopp fix it without helping him. Luffy, but I'm hungry. Rimuru, just be happy that we'll give you leftovers. I'll remove the threads once we're finished eating. Luffy pouted. Nami, speaking of those threads, would you explain to us your devil fruit powers? Luffy said you ate the slime fruit, but what's with the water and wings? Crocus, yes, I would like to know as well. Rimuru, well, I did say I'd explain my powers, but I'll explain while we eat. You two could join us if you want, but what we're gonna talk about is something that doesn't concern you, so I suggest you grab a plate of food and eat somewhere else. Miss Wednesday, oh sure, thank you very much. They all sat at the table and started eating. Rimuru, well, how do I start? Usopp, you could tell us about the slime part in your devil fruit's name. Rimuru, okay, so my devil fruit gives me 3 abilities. One of them allows me to partially or fully become a slime. Here, watch. Rimuru raised her arm, which melted and turned into a slime tendril. She then melted her whole body and became a blue blob. Rimuru then made a small nub which waved at the others. Rimuru, cool, huh? Usopp, well, the transformation is a little creepy. Nami, I agree. It is a bit unsettling, but your slime form is kinda cute. Nami leaned closer to Rimuru and started poking her. Rimuru, thanks. Rimuru reformed back to human. Rimuru, the second ability lets me eat anything and store it in my stomach. Usopp, stomach. Rimuru, it's essentially a massive storage space, but I call it stomach since it's easier to explain to Luffy, and my method of storing things in there looks similar to me eating whatever in my slime form. Sanji, that makes sense. Rimuru, continuing on, I can store anything I eat inside my stomach, and those things I eat don't interact with each other unless I want them to. For example, I could swallow an entire lake in a person and they wouldn't interact. But if, say, I want to drown said person in the lake, I could do just that, or combine it with electricity to blast electrified water. Sanji, so those water-based attacks you did, you were just using the water you stored. Rimuru, that's right. I have a limited amount of it whenever I use an attack, and I was able to make all sorts of techniques like this. Water blade. Rimuru swung her arm and shot out a blade of water that sliced a rock. Use up, whoa. Sanji, it's like that move Arlong did. Rimuru, and I don't just use water. I ate a bunch of other things, but unlike water, which I could easily refill, the other things I ate aren't as easily refillable. Nami, okay, that was impressive, but what about those wings and the threads? Rimuru, oh, that's easy. Another ability I have is what I call mimic. If I were to eat anything and it ended up in my stomach, I could choose to kind of digest it, and my slime body can imitate the form of whatever I ate. Usopp felt nervous and started sweating. Usopp, so what do you mean digest? Rimuru, that's actually trickier to explain, but to summarize, if I ate an animal like a bat or a spider, I could transform into them, or partially into one, or only use their abilities, such as the ability to fly using bat wings, make threads using spider webs, or even using electricity from an electric eel. Rimuru demonstrated some of her abilities by bringing out bat wings and coating her arm in electricity. Crocus, that's quite the impressive power you have. It's as if you've eaten multiple devil fruits of the Zoan type. Nami, hey Crocus, what do you mean Zoan? Crocus, you see. Devil fruits are categorized into 3 types, Logia, Zoan, and Paramecia. Depending on the powers, a devil fruit will be put into one of the 3. The first category, Logia, are categorized by their ability to create, manipulate, and become a certain element in nature, such as fire. Rimuru, or smoke like what Smoker has. Sanji, you mean the guy back at Logtown? Rimuru, that's right. Crocus, the second category is Zoan. These devil fruits grant the user the ability to transform into an animal or a human-animal hybrid. They also enhance the user's physical abilities. It essentially gives you the abilities of a werewolf but without the curse or the need for a full moon, as those things are just stories. Rimuru. Normally only one devil fruit of the same kind can appear at a time, like there can only be one gum fruit. But since Zoan devil fruits give the user the ability of an animal, each individual Zoan fruit will give the user the ability of a specific species of animal. So a wolf devil fruit and a Dalmatian devil fruit can exist at the same time despite both being dog devil fruits. Usopp, I get it, there's one animal devil fruit per species. Crocus nods, And lastly, there are the Paramecia devil fruits. You could say that these devil fruits are in the other category, since the only thing they have in common is that they have nothing in common. Rimuru. The biggest examples are my slime fruit, Luffy's gum fruit, or the devil fruit of the pirate named Buggy. All our fruits are classified as Paramecia. Nami, wow, I had no idea there were different types. Rimuru stretched her arms. Rimuru. Well, now that I've explained my powers, we should probably finish eating so we can prepare to set sail. Luffy, so does that mean you'll untie me now? Rimuru, in a bit. Nami, well, all that talk about fruits did work up an appetite. Sanji, enjoy. I hope you both like it, Nami Tilda. Later, as the sun was setting, the crew was finishing preparations and was ready to set sail. Crocus, you should be good to go. The log pose has had plenty of time to record the route, and the needle should be pointing in the same direction as that map. Nami, yup, it's pointing directly at Whiskey Peak. Luffy, see ya, Pops. Thanks again for the log pose, take care. Rimuru, yeah, we really appreciate it. Crocus, safe travels. Luffy, we're off, Laboon. Be ready to fight when we get back. Laboon, BUOHHHH. Rimuru, okay, next stop, Whiskey Peak. Luffy, let's go. The crew then set off on their next adventure, leaving Laboon and Crocus at the shore. As the crew began sailing out of view, Crocus began reminiscing about the days of his youth as a pirate. Crocus, I wonder if those pirates are the very ones we've been waiting for. Those two have such an uncanny air about them. Don't you think, Roger? Chapter 7. Secrets at Whiskey Peak. The crew is now traveling en route to Whiskey Peak, along with Miss Wednesday and Mr. 9. Rimuru, who is steering the ship, is currently very worried. Rimuru, hey Nami, are you sure we're still going the right way? A vein appeared on Nami's head. Nami, can you stop asking me every 5 minutes? It's really annoying. A vein formed on Rimuru as well. Rimuru, hey, I'm trying to keep the crew safe here. Didn't you hear Crocus' warnings? Nami, I did, and you're GTTING on MYNERVES. Why don't you go with your brother? Rimuru, fine. Geo crying for MY help. Rimuru stormed out to join Usopp and Luffy in their snowball fight. Miss Wednesday, are you sure it's wise to ignore your captain's concerns? Mr. 9, also, doesn't this ship have a heater? Nami, shut your mouth. Just then, lightning struck during the snow, which quickly became a blizzard. Nami, lightning. First it was sunny, then it's snowing, and now lightning. What's going on with this weather? I've never seen anything like it. It's like the normal rules of nature don't apply. Miss Wednesday, so what do you think? Ready to turn back yet? Mr. 9, you and your friends have no idea how to survive in this place. Miss Wednesday, you really should have listened to your competent captain. Have you even looked at your log pose? Nami, I know where we're heading. I already checked it before. Nami went to pick up the log pose, but was shocked to see what it showed. Nami, no way. Make a hard turn 180 degrees, hurry. Usopp, wait, turn back. Luffy, did you forget something? Rimuru, well, I'm going to read a book. Rimuru casually walked inside and began reading. Nami, the ship has turned around. We're sailing in the wrong direction. And I only took my eyes off the log pose for just a second. I thought the waves were calm. Miss Wednesday, you're not a very good navigator, are you? Nami got irritated. Miss Wednesday, you can't trust anything here. The wind, sky, waves, clouds. Nothing is as it seems in these seas. The only way to get reliable direction in the Grand Line is with the log pose. Your captain is the only one who seems to understand it, which is why she constantly asks you for directions. Nami kicked the duo outside. Nami, shut your condescending mouths and do something useful around here. And you, help you. Rimuru, no way. Nami flopped to the floor from Rimuru's quick response, then snapped. Nami, why the hell not? Rimuru, turning a page. I was trying to make sure we were going on the right path and asking you for directions as the navigator. This is your mess, so you have to deal with this. Captain's orders. Frustrated that Rimuru was right, Nami left the cabin and began barking orders. After the chaos of the Grand Line and turning the ship around, everyone collapsed from exhaustion, relieved that it was over and the ship was back on course. Zoro yawned. That was a nice nap, Zoro, who had slept through the chaos, noticed everyone except Rimuru was lying on the floor. Zoro, come on, the weather is nice and all, but that's no reason to be lazy. We better be on the right track. Rimuru, Sanji/Nami/Usopp, thinking, shut up, you bastard. Zoro finally noticed the two strangers on the floor. Zoro, what are you two doing here? Mr. 9, you just NOTICEDUS. Luffy, we're on a side mission to take them home. Their town's called Whiskey Peak. Zoro, since when did we become a transport service for thugs? We don't owe them anything. Rimuru, since we need to decide on a direction, and Nami broke their log pose after punching Luffy. Nami, that was an accident. Zoro approached the two, making them nervous. Zoro, so, what are your strange names again? Because I don't think you can be trusted. The duo began sweating bullets. Mr. 9, WL, my name is Mr. 9. Miss Wednesday, I'm called Miss Wednesday. Zoro grinned. Zoro, right. Those names sounded familiar and that's bothering me. In fact, the more I think about it, the more I'm certain I've heard them before. Rimuru realized Zoro was messing with them and decided to play along. Rimuru, now that you mention it, I'm having that strange feeling too. Zoro, well, in that case. Nami suddenly punched Zoro. Nami, you jerk. Do you think you could sleep while we do all the work? You're lucky we didn't toss your lazy ass overboard. Zoro, huh? Nami punched Zoro 3 more times. Rimuru coughs. Okay, listen up, everyone. During the terror you guys minus Zoro just experienced, we learned there's no way to know what will happen next. So do you now understand why this sea is named the Grand Line, Nami? Nami, yes. My navigation skills are useless here since anything can happen. It's my fault we had to find out the hard way, but mark my words, I will guide us through. Usopp, ooh, are we really gonna be fine? Rimuru leaped into the air and landed on Luffy's head in her slime form. Rimuru, we sure are, look. Rimuru pointed at an island in the distance. Rimuru, we're already here. Luffy, it's an island. Look, those cacti are humongous. Sanji, so this is Whiskey Peak. The landscape is unlike anything I've ever seen. Just as the crew was amazed at the island, the duo leaped onto the railings of the Mary. Mr. 9, thank you, but we must be leaving. Miss Wednesday, it has been an interesting ride to say the least. Mr. 9, perhaps we'll meet again someday. Miss Wednesday, Mr. 9, bye-bye, baby. The two jumped into the sea and began swimming toward the island. Nami/Usopp/Rimuru, ooh. Nami, they're gone. Usopp, I guess we'll never know what those two nutjobs are up to. Rimuru, that was dumb. We were going to the same island anyway. Why'd they decide to swim? Luffy, who cares? We're landing. The ship began sailing through a river that led inside the island. Usopp, shivering. There wouldn't be any monsters there, right? Sanji, there's definitely a possibility. This is the Grand Line. Rimuru, yeah, we've already seen sea monsters, so we could see some land monsters. Luffy, if we find monsters, then we could just leave. Nami, that's not true. According to Crocus, it's necessary that we stay on this island at least for a little while. Luffy, but why? Rimuru, the log pose needs time to record the magnetic field of this island. If we leave early, the log pose will just keep pointing back here. Nami, that's right. Also, depending on the island, we're required to stay on it for different lengths of time. It could be a few hours or a few days. Usopp, so suppose this island is crawling with monsters, but we get stuck here waiting. That's stupid. We'll be done for. What's the point of gathering navigation coordinates if you're dead? Rimuru, we don't have much choice, unless you want to sail in circles until you have no more supplies and starve to death. Usopp shivered in fear at the thought. Luffy, let's not think about the monsters until we have to. Rimuru, nodding, mem. Zoro, it seems both of our captains agree, so we have no choice. Sanji, now that that's settled, let's get going. I'll keep you safe, Nami. Usopp, I think I've developed a Cantenteran Island disease. You guys just go on without me. Rimuru, quit being a baby, Usopp. Besides, we've already got company just ahead. Confused by what Rimuru said, Usopp and Nami got nervous, while Sanji and Zoro tensed up for a fight. Luffy just got excited. Once they reached a town, they were strangely welcomed by the people. The crew docked at the shore where they were greeted by the town's mayor. Igarapi Maya Tilda. Welcome. My name is Igarap, and it is my honor as mayor to welcome you to Whiskey Peak. Luffy, oh great, I'm Luffy. Nice to meet you. Rimuru, and I'm his sister. Igarap, you'll find that this is a place that thrives on making liquor and music. Hospitality is a matter of pride in our town. Smiles run long, and the liquor flows as bountiful as the sea. Would you permit us to throw you a party in honor of your arrival so we may hear, coughing Maya, your tales of adventure? Sanji / Usopp / Luffy, laughing in unison, we'd love to. Nami, idiots. Rimuru, oh, let them have some fun. Thinking, besides, I've already heard everything I needed to hear. Hey, Pops, how long would it take for our log pose to record its magnetic field? Igarap, such boring details will have to wait for now. Surely you'd like to rest on your journey first. Igarap held Nami and Rimuru's shoulders. Igarap, now let's prepare to party. Sing and make merry, entertain our guests. The whole town began to party throughout the night. Usopp told tales to the locals. Sanji started conversations with many girls. Man 1. Whoa, this pirate is hitting on 20 girls at the same time. Man 2. We don't stand a chance with these pirates. Luffy ate everything, causing the chefs to collapse from exhaustion. His body inflated like a balloon. Luffy more. Man 3. Unbelievable. One of the captains just ate a meal fit for 20 people. Chef good night. Meanwhile, Nami, Zoro, and Rimuru competed in a drinking competition. After a while, Zoro placed his mug down and rested his head on the table. Zoro, I'm calling it quits. Man 1. That one is finally down after 13 mugs. Nami, oh come on. Are you quitting on us now, Zoro, you wuss? After Zoro dropped out, it left Rimuru, Nami, and a nun in the competition. Man 3. Only 3 left and they're all women. Man 2. I got 50 berries on the blue-haired beauty. None, my children, forfeit for your own sakes. There is no disgrace. Nami, ha. Well, I appreciate the concern, sister, but you're not going to make me quit that easily. H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A. Rimuru, forfeit and miss out on all this liquor. No thanks. After more drinking, the nun finally collapsed. Nun, I'm out. Nami, so I guess it's just you and me. Rimuru, it seems so, but this is taking too long. Bring US BARRELS. Everyone BARRELS. After more time drinking, Nami finally collapsed, and Rimuru became the winner. Nami, I can't take it anymore. Rimuru received her prize money before falling onto the sofa face first. Later that night, when most of the crew was asleep, the citizens of Whiskey Peak gathered outside. Igarap, they've worn themselves out partying and are fast asleep. Sweet dreams, brave adventurers. My, how the cactus rocks gleam under the pale moonlight, beautiful as ever. Mr. 9, I say your poetic skills are beyond compare, Igarap. I mean Mr. 8. Igarap was approached by Mr. 9 and Miss Wednesday, who referred to him as Mr. 8. Mr. 8, oh, it's you. Miss Wednesday, so where are they? Mr. 8, they're falling straight to hell. The nun who competed in the drinking competition came out of the building. Miss Monday, damn, my head is killing me. Our guests don't have the good taste to pass out gracefully, so I had their drinks switched to something stronger. Otherwise, they'd drink us all into oblivion. Heck, we already lost a building's worth of alcohol because of one of them. The nun, referred to as Miss Monday, removed her disguise and revealed a muscular body. Miss Monday, so tell me, is it really necessary to put on this elaborate show for those idiots? I get that nobody wants to hear me whine, but it's my duty to point out the amount of food we wasted when we could have just ambushed them at the harbor. We're already short on supplies, and it's not like we had high hopes for that whale meat anyway. Mr. 9 got offended and snapped back. Mr. 9, well then why don't you go kill that damn whale yourself? We tried our best, you know. Mr. 8, both of you calm yourselves. Before you question and belittle my plan, you should see this. Mr. 8 showed Luffy's wanted poster to the three, which surprised them. The trio, what, 30 million BRRIS. Mr. 9, for those morons. Mr. 8, don't be foolish. Appearances can be deceiving. That goes for cough ma dash maya tilde. That goes for all of you. Miss Monday, I'm sorry. Mr. 8, no matter, our prey has been trapped. That's news the boss will enjoy. For now, confiscate everything valuable on their ship. Miss Monday, so what do we do with them now? Mr. 9, kill them. Mr. 8, if they die, their bounty will drop 30% and the government prefers to hold public executions. Now go, I want them alive. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but do you mind letting our friends sleep? The four were surprised when they heard a voice behind them. They looked up at a building and saw Zoro and Rimuru sitting on the edge. Rimuru, yeah, they've had a long day, and the trip here was exhausting because of a certain someone. Suddenly, a bunch of people came out of the building. Man, hey Mr. 8, Miss Monday, 2 of the pirates escaped from the room when we weren't looking. Miss Wednesday pointed to the roof. Miss Wednesday, they're right over there. Mr. 8, why you? Weren't you 2 passed out from drinking earlier? Zoro, a real swordsman would never make the mistake of letting their guard down. Plus, I took a nap earlier. Rimuru, as for me, I haven't actually drunk a single drop of alcohol. It's just a side effect of my devil fruit powers. Rimuru pulled out a cup, and the liquor from earlier poured out of the palm of her hand into it. She then began drinking. Rimuru, that's good alcohol. Miss Wednesday, how did you do that? Rimuru, we gave you 2 a ride to the island. Didn't you listen when I explained my devil fruit powers to my crew? Miss Wednesday and Mr. 9 paused for a moment. They only recalled how delicious Sanji's cooking was and hadn't paid any attention to the explanation. More people gathered in front of the 2. Zoro, you specialize in hunting drunk pirates who fell for your hospitality. It's original, I'll give you that at least. Rimuru, judging by my count, there are at least 100 of you. And from those awful disguises, you guys are bounty hunters trying to claim my brother's head. Rimuru glanced at Zoro. Rimuru, would you like to take them on, Zoro? Zoro, grinning, of course, Captain. Fighting Baroque work should be fun. The bounty hunters were shocked. Mr. 8, how did you 2 know our name? Zoro, I was in a similar line of work once upon a time, and your company enticed me with a job offer. Naturally, I said no. Rimuru, same here, so do the same rules apply. Employee identities kept secret, cheesy code names, the boss identity and whereabouts also a mystery. An organization that works in complete obedience like puppets. What a lousy secret. Mr. 8, this is a surprise. If you 2 know our secrets, then we are left with no other choice but to kill you. 2 more gravestones will be added to the cactus rocks tonight. Kill THEM. Just as Mr. 8 gave the order, Rimuru and Zoro disappeared, shocking everyone. Miss Wednesday, they disappeared. Mr. 9, they're gone. Mr. 8, what? How the hell could they just disappear? Everyone began looking around to find where the 2 ended up. So, what are you guys looking at? Bounty Hunter 1, we're looking for the 2 who were just up there. The bounty hunter looked at the person he was talking to and saw Rimuru with Zoro standing next to her. Everyone was stunned when both Rimuru and Zoro suddenly appeared in the middle of the crowd, staring at the roof where they had just been. The bounty hunters backed off and pointed their rifles at the duo. Bounty Hunter 2, damn you 2, fire. The bounty hunters fired their guns, and accidentally shot each other in the confusion. Mr. 8, you incompetent morons, they shot each other. Mr. 9, yeah, and those two got away. Mr. 8, just kill them, there are only two people. As he gave another order, he flinched as a sword suddenly slipped through his hair. Zoro was standing right behind him. Zoro, ask yourself, would one gravestone be enough? Bounty Hunter 3, there he is. The bounty hunters aimed their guns at Zoro and Mr. 8. Mr. 8, wait, shoot. Rimuru, unless you want your superior dead, I suggest you don't do that. Everyone startled at Rimuru's voice. They lowered their guns and frantically looked around for her. Bounty Hunter 4, where is that voice coming from? Rimuru, well, I'm going to do some business. Don't spend too much time playing with your new friends, Zoro. Zoro, sure. Good luck with whatever it is you're gonna do. As the bounty hunters kept searching for Rimuru, they noticed a blue blob bouncing toward town. Miss Monday, what was that? Everyone was so focused on searching for Rimuru that they didn't notice Zoro had disappeared again. Mr. 8 noticed the sword was gone from his neck. Mr. 8, all right, you idiots, where did that man escape to this time? Mr. 9, it seems like this guy may actually be able to put up a fight even against us. Mr. 8, can they possibly be so arrogant and stupid as to let one man take us all on? What kind of a man would even consider challenging us after knowing we're all from Baroque works? Miss Wednesday, we don't know if he's stupid or arrogant, but that girl is very dangerous. Mr. 8, how so? Mr. 9, we don't really know the specifics, but all we know is that she ate a devil fruit. Everyone ate a devil fruit. Miss Wednesday, yes, and unlike her brother, she actually is smart enough to figure out our scheme. Mr. 8, thinking, if she ate a devil fruit, then this has become much more troublesome. Meanwhile, inside the building where the crew was sleeping, Nami, who wasn't actually drunk or unconscious, got up. Nami, thinking, so Whiskey Peak is really a nest of bounty hunters. You know, I had a feeling that was the case. Nami carefully snuck out of the building and began moving around to loot the bounty hunters. Chapter 8, Battle at Whiskey Peak. After causing confusion among the Baroque Works bounty hunters, Zoro quickly hid to assess the situation. Bounty hunter, he couldn't have gotten far, let's find him, men. Zoro grabbed his swords, itching to try them out. Zoro, grinning, ah yes, my new recruits from Logtown. Yubashiri and Kaitsu I. Now's as good a time as any to test you two out, and with these thugs we don't need to hold back. Bounty hunter, haha, got you now. A bounty hunter appeared above Zoro and held him at gunpoint. Bounty hunter, die. The hunter fired his gun, but Zoro quickly dove inside a building to dodge. Just as Zoro got to his feet, more bounty hunters showed up and opened fire. Zoro took cover behind a table and grabbed a sword. Zoro, you're up, Yubashiri. Zoro drew his sword and rushed past the hunters, slicing through them. Zoro, light and well-balanced. Zoro ran while being chased by more hunters. He climbed up some stairs but quickly dodged a shot from a bazooka. Just as Zoro was surrounded by hunters with melee weapons, Miss Monday stood on another building and threw a barrel at him. Zoro sliced the barrel into 4 pieces, which hit the 4 hunters. Zoro, oh, and that wine must have cost a fortune, huh? A bounty hunter snuck up behind Zoro with a giant hammer, but it was suddenly slashed by Zoro using Kaitsu I, surprising Zoro himself. Surprised that he didn't even remember drawing Kaitsu, Zoro quickly cut down his attacker. Zoro, what the hell is it doing? Look, Kaitsu I, you're quite sharp, but you're also a bit of a troublemaker, aren't you? A good sword only cuts when its master directs it. Cursed or not, you're going to listen to me. A nun and a child tried to catch Zoro by surprise but were quickly knocked out. Zoro climbed higher as more hunters followed. As they climbed the ladder and seemingly cornered him, Zoro kicked the ladder, causing many of them to fall hard to the ground. Zoro see ya. Zoro used the falling ladder as a springboard to jump to the next building. Zoro two-sword style, hawk wave. Zoro defeated the hunters standing in front of him. As more appeared, Zoro cut a hole in the roof and began walking away. Zoro, I wouldn't be standing there if I were you. As the hunters stood on the spot Zoro had cut, they fell into the building. Miss Monday grabbed a ladder and attempted to hit Zoro, but he quickly fell to his knees and barely dodged. Zoro, okay, that was too close. Miss Monday threw the ladder away, slipped on brass knuckles and grabbed Zoro. Miss Monday, superhuman strength fist. Miss Monday punched Zoro in the face so hard it cracked the roof of the building and kicked up a cloud of dust. Meanwhile, on the ground, Mr. 8, Mr. 9, and Miss Wednesday, along with more hunters, watched the battle unfold. Mr. 8, we've wasted a lot of time and we now have to figure out how to deal with the girl. Assuming Zoro had been killed, they began to walk away. To prepare for their fight with Rimuru, they stopped once they heard Miss Monday's scream. They stared in shock as Zoro held Miss Monday by the face with an iron grip, causing her to wail in pain as she tried to pry herself free. Hunters, Miss Monday. Zoro, what's the matter, muscle woman? Didn't want to pit your strength against mine. Miss Monday fell unconscious, and Zoro let go. Zoro, I guess you've lost. Is that all you can offer, Baroque works? Because you need to do a lot better than that. Zoro drew his swords once more, and faced the rest of the bounty hunters. Hunter 1, no, it can't be. He defeated Miss Monday. Hunter 2, that's impossible. As many of the bounty hunters fled in disbelief, they left Miss Wednesday, Mr. 9, and Mr. 8 behind. Mr. 8, this is getting disgraceful. The boss put us in charge of this town, and he's not going to be pleased if we lose to one measly pirate. Miss Wednesday, it looks like we finally get to fight. Mr. 8 grabbed his trumpet and blew into it. Zoro him. Mr. 8, IGARAPPA. Suddenly, a volley of bullets came out of the trumpet. Zoro barely dodged the shots. Zoro thinking, so that thing is a weapon, huh? I'd better watch out for it. Mr. 9, let's go, Miss Wednesday. Miss Wednesday, of course. Mr. 9 began to move to higher ground. Miss Wednesday whistles, come here, Karoo, and lend us a hand. Suddenly, a giant duck named Karoo appeared. Karoo quacked. Karoo thought his master wanted a handshake and raised his wing, which irritated Miss Wednesday. Miss Wednesday, I don't mean literally, get over here. Karoo approached his master, and Miss Wednesday climbed onto his back. Miss Wednesday, come on, Karoo, let's show them how fast you are. Leave them in the dust. Karoo quacked. Karoo sat down, which irritated Miss Wednesday so much she punched him. Miss Wednesday, who told you to sit? Karoo quacked. Zoro gave the two a confused look. Zoro, a duck. Mr. 9, ha ha ha, you got distracted so easily. How can you hope to follow my acrobatics? Mr. 9 flipped toward Zoro, pulling out two metal bats. Mr. 9, hot-blooded 9 guts bat. Mr. 9 swung a bat, but Zoro blocked it. Mr. 9 jumped over Zoro, ready to fight. Mr. 9, ha ha ha, be careful not to chip your blades. Zoro began to slash and stab at Mr. 9, forcing the bounty hunter to parry while being driven back. Zoro, what happened to your fancy acrobatics, huh? Zoro stopped attacking. Mr. 9 thought it was a great opportunity to reassess, and did a backflip, not knowing Zoro had driven him to the very edge of the building. Mr. 9, AAAHH. Mr. 9 fell into some crates below. Zoro, is this really the best they could do? Miss Wednesday, I'm still here. Zoro looked behind him and saw Miss Wednesday standing on Karoo's back. Miss Wednesday, are you ready, Mr. Bushido? Watch closely. Miss Wednesday performed a strange dance. Miss Wednesday, alluring perfume dance. Zoro, thinking the fight was getting silly, stared at his opponent, which unfortunately put him under the effect of her technique. He fell to his knees. Miss Wednesday, tee-hee, good boy, now it's time to finish this. Miss Wednesday brought out her weapon, a blade on a string, and started spinning it. Miss Wednesday, peacock slasher, go Karoo. Karoo quack. Karoo ran right past Zoro, which confused him and irritated Miss Wednesday. Miss Wednesday, you ran right past him. Karoo didn't stop running and ended up falling off the building with his master. Miss Wednesday, Karoo, AAAHH/QASCK. Zoro, this is so pathetic. Fighting them is almost embarrassing. Suddenly, Mr. 8 snuck up behind Zoro and fired his trumpet shotgun. Zoro quickly jumped into the hole he had made earlier to avoid the attack and ran through a door. Zoro, thinking, that horn is really complicating things. How do I get close enough to fight? Mr. 9 burst out of the rubble and approached Zoro. Mr. 9, you may have won the first fight, but no tricks from you this time. Zoro, I didn't trick you. You're the one who jumped off the building. Mr. 9, home run training bat. Mr. 9 swung his bat, and suddenly the tip of it launched toward Zoro and wrapped around his arm. Mr. 9, what are you gonna do now, tough guy? Zoro, kick your ass. Mr. 8 heard the commotion and readied his trumpet. Mr. 8, excellent work. Mr. 9, come on, kill him, Mr. 8, do it now. Miss Wednesday appeared, dragging a sleeping Luffy. Miss Wednesday, that's right, don't move. If you think about doing anything foolish, Mr. Bushido, your friend here will pay the price. Mr. 9, well done, Miss Wednesday. It looks like there is no escape for the swordsman this time, unless he wants his friend to die. Zoro, that idiot. Can't he at least wake up before he's taken hostage? Mr. 8, preparing to fire, preparations complete. Zoro, what? Zoro looked at Mr. 8 with surprise, as cannons appeared from within his hair. Mr. 8, IGRAPAPA. Mr. 8 fired all his cannons. Zoro quickly pulled Mr. 9 and swung him around to block the shots. Mr. 9, AAAHH. Mr. 9 took the blast to the face. Zoro then swung him toward Miss Wednesday and Karoo, sending them all crashing into some rubble. Mr. 8, IGRAPAPA. Zoro evaded the next attack and ran toward Luffy. Zoro, I'm going to borrow your stomach, Luffy. He used Luffy as a springboard, launching himself toward Mr. 8 and cutting him down. Zoro sheathed his sword and let out an exhausted sigh. Zoro finished. Zoro went to pick up Mr. 8 and Miss Monday, throwing them off the building with Miss Wednesday and Mr. 9 before sitting on the ledge. Suddenly, an explosion occurred in the distance. Zoro, I thought I heard something. Must have been my imagination. Nice job, Zoro. It got a little silly in the end from what I saw, but you still did a great job. Zoro looked at the source of the voice and saw Rimuru in her slime form. Rimuru here. A bottle popped out of the top of Rimuru's slime form. She handed it to Zoro with a slime tendril. Zoro, what's this? Rimuru, alcohol, you've earned it. Zoro grinning, thanks, Captain. Rimuru hopped to the edge where Zoro was sitting. Zoro, so what were you doing? Rimuru, oh, just something pirates are known for. Meanwhile, somewhere in Whiskey Peak, Nami was going from building to building, searching every safe and corner for money and valuables. Nami, seriously, this is a pathetic excuse for a bounty hunter hideout. I can't even find anything valuable here. They must have hidden it somewhere else. Nami left the building and entered another, continuing her search for anything to steal. Elsewhere, some bounty hunters were trying to gather food and hide on the island for a few days to avoid something or someone. Hunter 1, AAHH the food, it's gone. Hunter 2, what? Where did it go? I know we used a lot at the party, but I'm sure we still had plenty left. Back to Rimuru and Zoro. Rimuru, it looks like we've got more company. Zoro, him. The two looked down to where the Baroque Works hunters were. After being tossed into the rubble, Mr. 8 began crawling. Mr. 8, I can't die here. I have an important mission to keep. The three of you lost to a single pirate. That's just sad. Mr. 8, Mr. 9, and Miss Wednesday looked up to see two figures. A man wearing a large coat and a woman in a lemon-patterned dress. Mr. 8, Mr. 5, Miss Valentine. Mr. 5, you really can't do your job right, can you? Miss Valentine, KYHHEHA. Well, that's clearly the difference between our rank and yours. Mr. 8, growling, you came here just to laugh at us. Mr. 5, now that's just a bonus. Miss Valentine, Kaihahaha, we're here on business. Mr. 9, with you guys here, we could finally defeat that guy. Miss Wednesday, yeah, let's track him down and show him what Baroque Works can really do. Mr. 5, quit joking, we didn't come here to clean up your mess. Miss Valentine, did you really think we'd come all the way out here in the Grand Line to help you? Mr. 9, then what? What business are you here for? Mr. 5, you mean you haven't figured it out? There are people here who have committed crimes so severe the boss had to send us. The three stared at the duo, confused. Mr. 5, he said something about someone figuring out his secret. I'm not sure what secret he's talking about, not that I want to know, but someone else did, and knowing it is against company rules. Our motto is secrecy. Everyone's identities are to be kept secret, and if someone is dumb enough to find out the boss's identity, that is a serious crime. Miss Valentine, so, while we were conducting an investigation on who discovered the boss's secret, we learned something interesting. Kaihahaha, it turns out that someone from a certain kingdom has infiltrated our ranks. Rimuru, thinking, so they have a spy. Zoro, crap, Luffy is still down there. Upon hearing that the spy was from a certain kingdom, the three hunters and the duck started to panic. Mr. 9, a kingdom. Wait, I may be wearing a crown, but I'm not a king or anything like that. Miss Valentine, shut up, idiot, not talking about you. Mr. 5, the people we're talking about are from the kingdom of Alabasta. Mr. 8 stood up. Mr. 8, thinking, no, it's all over now. Die, IGARAPPAPA. Mr. 8 fired his cannons at the two, causing a huge explosion. Zoro took advantage of the confusion, jumped down and grabbed Luffy. Mr. 8, thinking, you shall not lay a hand on the princess, not while the captain of the Alabasta security still stands. Mr. 9, Mr. 8. Miss Wednesday, IGARAM. Mr. 9, Igaram. As the smoke cleared, the two newcomers were revealed to be unharmed. Mr. 5, Igaram, captain of Alabasta's Royal Guard, and Princess Vivi Nefertari of the Alabasta Kingdom. We've come here in the name of the boss of Baroque Works to see that you're both eliminated. Rimuru, thinking she's a princess. Igaram sent another volley of explosive shots at the two. Igaram, Gon, Princess Vivi, you have to escape. Vivi, Igaram. As Igaram kept firing, he was suddenly hit by an explosion that knocked him out. Vivi, Igaram. Rimuru, thinking, did he use his booger? He must have devil fruit powers, still though that's disgusting. Miss Valentine, it's futile. Miss Valentine tried to kick Vivi, but Vivi barely dodged as her hairband broke. Vivi tried to counter, but Miss Valentine simply floated away. Rimuru, thinking, whoa, she can float, that's cool. Miss Valentine floated back to Mr. 5. Vivi, you monsters. Mr. 9 bowed down in amazement, finally processing the information. Mr. 9, So you're really a princess, Miss Wednesday. Vivi, now is not the time for that, Mr. Nine. Igaram, Princess Vivi, forget about me and please, run, you must get away from here. For our homeland, if you were to be harmed, Alabasta would suffer. Please, Princess, you must hurry. Mr. Five began picking his nose. Mr. Five, if you think you can escape from us, you're mistaken. Vivi brought out her weapons and twirled them, readying for a fight. Vivi, let's see if you can take me. But before she could fight, Mr. Nine blocked her with his bat. Mr. Nine, this whole princess thing is getting confusing, but we've been allies for a very long time. I'll hold them off to give you a head start. Vivi, Mr. Nine. Mr. Nine, bye-bye, baby. Mr. Nine flipped toward Mr. Five to buy time. Mr. Five picked his nose and flung a booger toward Mr. Nine. Mr. Five, all we Baroque Works agents have to do is our jobs and do them well. All that pathetic friendship is for the weak. It's time you learn that. Nose fancy cannon. The booger flew toward Mr. Nine and exploded, sending him flying toward the river. Vivi, Mr. Nine. Not wanting to let the sacrifice go to waste, Vivi got on Karoo and began fleeing, with Mr. Five and Miss Valentine in pursuit. Zorro returned to the alleyway to watch and was grossed out. Zorro, did that just come out of his nose? Zorro suddenly felt something grabbing his ankle. It was Igaram. Zorro, hey, what are you doing? Igaram, swordsman, I have an unreasonable request. I must ask it of someone with strength such as yours. Zorro, yeah, right, you've got to be kidding, let go of me. Zorro tried to pull his leg away, but Igaram wouldn't let go. Igaram, both of those villains possess devil fruit powers. There is nothing I could do to stop them. I'm begging you, please protect Princess Vivi in my place. Surely you'll be rewarded if you deliver the princess safely to our noble home, to Alabasta. I'm just a humble servant, but I'm begging you. Sure, we'll help. Just as Zorro was about to object, they heard a voice. They looked in the direction of the voice and saw Rimuru, who was dragging a soaked and burnt Mr. Nine. Zorro, are you sure? Rimuru, nodding, yeah. This guy and that princess gave a bad first impression when they tried to kill Laboon. But even though this guy is supposedly one of your enemies, he was willing to risk his life to help his friend. That's something I can respect. Do you have anything to say, Nami? Rimuru glanced at Nami, who was sitting on a nearby building, surprising Zorro and Igaram. Zorro, Nami. Igaram, cough mama mea tilde. Nami, yeah, since he's offering to pay us for helping, why don't we bargain for the cost? Rimuru, sure, let me handle that. Zorro, I thought you were asleep. Nami jumped down and approached them. Nami, give me some credit. Who in their right mind would fall asleep in a town that welcomes pirates like Whiskey Peak? Rimuru, there's Fuchsia Village, the town where Luffy and I come from. Granted, we welcome a specific pirate crew rather than all pirates in general. Nami, anyway, Zorro, go and get her. Nami ordered Zorro, which angered him. The two began arguing until the topic shifted to Zorro being in serious debt to Nami. Rimuru, thinking just how greedy can a person get, sigh, Zorro, just go and help her. Zorro, what? Nami, you heard the captain, now get going. Zorro reluctantly ran off to help Vivi, but he turned the wrong way. Rimuru, wrong way, Zoro. Just as Zorro changed direction, Rimuru noticed Luffy was gone. Rimuru, hey, where did Luffy go? Nami, he was asleep here a second ago. Igaram, I am so ashamed. Rimuru / Nami, Igaram, if I were a bit stronger, I could have protected Princess Vivi like she deserves. Nami, she'll be fine. Zorro may look stupid, but he's really strong. Igaram, if anything were to happen to Princess Vivi, the kingdom of Alabasta would be. It would be done for. She must escape. She has to. Rimuru, save your strength. Nami, help me patch these two up. Nami, all right.